Okay, if you have a watch, don't forget to start it. Say that first because I always forget. We're going to start on our knees or in the seated position today. It's probably more legs and core, a little bit more inner thigh than anything else. A lot of poses we've already seen before, so it shouldn't be too scary, I think. Other than that, if it does at any point get too difficult, feel free to take your own modification, push back child's pose, push back forward fold, whatever's comfortable for you. I want to see you all again on Thursday, so don't hurt yourself today. Other than that, we'll go ahead and get started. So again, coming into that kneeling or coming into that seated on your glutes position, we're just going to interlace our hands in front of us. Push those palms forward, curling the belly, bringing those ribs to meet the hips. Deep breaths in, feel a little bit of a stretch through that back. We're pushing forward for length here. Another deep breath in, curling that spine. Exhale, extending all the way up, pushing to the ceiling, finding that length, reaching through the crown of your head. Feel free to take those little side bends. If that feels good to you, just stretching out the shoulders, stretching out the back. And taking deep breaths here. Coming again to center, deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead and roll those wrists until you get to that T position. Holding here, we're just going to reach back, coming to center, and reaching to the right. Trying to increase that mobility, stretching as best you can, using those breaths. Trying to look behind your shoulder, twisting with your body, squeeze through the core. One more on each side. Try to reach a little bit further if you can. And come back to center. Keeping those arms extended out. We're just going to do a couple arm circles forward. Still reaching through the fingertips, warming up the shoulders, engaging the back, slowly increasing the circumference of that circle. And swinging backwards now, opposite direction. And we'll slowly close that circumference of our circle, making those a little bit smaller. Still doing those deep breaths. Hold. Go ahead and twist your palms all the way up to the ceiling. Reaching up, grab onto those shoulders, making those claws, and circle those elbows. Feel the transition of the muscles that you're using as you circle those arms here. Maybe a bit more in your shoulders. Bit closer to your spine, mid-back. 2 more using those deep breaths. And let's circle the other direction. One more deep breath in. Go ahead and stop that circle. Find that stillness. Bring those arms out to that 90. Crossing the left arm over your right. Grabbing on and hooking your fingers. Try lifting those elbows a little bit higher. Feel that stretch through your back and your shoulders. Feel free to take those bends if that feels comfortable to you. Exhale, go ahead and let go. And switch right arm over top of left. Hook those fingers. Slowly lift those elbows all the way up. Try not to shrug your shoulders up by your ears. You want to bring your shoulder blades back and down. Lift those elbows up. Again, breathe through it. Feel free to take those little side bends if that feels good to you. Exhale, unhook those arms, gently crawling forward. Find that child pose position. Feel free to leave those knees wide on the mat if that feels good to you. Feeling a bit deeper stretch through your shoulders and your back. Option to rock those hips side to side if you want to add a little bit more flow here. Taking this time to bring awareness to all 4 corners of your body. You might try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, feeling your forearms pressed into the mat, the rise and fall of your chest. Feel free to try to walk your fingertips a little bit further up the mat here. Sink your chest a little bit closer to the floor. Deepening that breath. letting go of any stress or tension built up throughout the day, setting your intentions and bringing awareness to the rest of your today. Feel free to take that brain scan, check in with each muscle group of your body. You start preparing for today's class. Taking one more deep breath in. On that exhale, lifting yourself up, find that tabletop position, shoulders stacked over the heels of your palms, knees stacked under those hips, neutral spine, squeezing the core. We're going to take a deep breath in, lowering the scapula down, lifting the chest up, expand through the belly, nose lifts to the ceiling. And exhale, squeeze the core, round out that back, lifting your ribs to your hips, pressing through the heels of your palm. Deep breath, expand through the belly, lift the chest. Go ahead and do these cat-cows at a pace that feels comfortable for you so that you can recognize the rhythm of your breathing. Using that core, keeping it engaged. For a couple more. Trying to lift your nose a little bit higher, squeeze the core a little bit more, settling back into that neutral spine, starting with our left leg. We're going to kick that left leg out, bring that right arm forward, doing a different variation of the bird dogs today. We're just going to lift the leg and the arm and lower it back down. Slow and in control, trying to keep the same pace up that you do down. Engage the glutes, squeeze through the core. The only thing that we want moving here is the arm and the leg. Use those breaths. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Bring that awareness to those muscles, your back, your shoulder, those glutes, length through the fingertips and toes. We'll lift one more time, and as we reach the top, we're going to pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leave that leg lifted. We're just going to reach back with our right arm and forward. Reaching back and forward. 3 more. Squeezing the core, constant tension through those abdominals. Length through the toes. One last time. Reaching all the way back. Try to bend that left leg and reach for the toes. You can grab that foot. Go ahead and press the top of the foot into that hand if you can. If not, just reach. Deep breaths. And exhale, letting go. Go ahead and kick that left leg out to the side. Reach up through your left arm. Length through those fingertips. Expanding through the chest. Deep breath in. Exhale, threading all the way through. Feel that stretch through your inner thigh. Slowly trying to get that shoulder closer to the ground. Deep twist through the spine. Another deep breath in, lifting that arm all the way back up, stretching through the chest, and lowering back down. We'll do the same thing for the other side now. Go ahead and come back to that tabletop position, neutral spine, shoulders over wrists, hips under knees. Kick that right leg back, bring that left arm forward now. We're just gonna lift and lower. Squeeze through the glutes, balance with your core. And reach, length through the fingertips and the toes. Use that breath. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Two more. Really squeezing through the core. Keep yourself balanced. Last one, staying lifted. We'll pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, leave that leg lifted, reaching back with the left arm and forward. Reach back and forward. 3 more, length through those fingertips. Slow and in control. Last one, we're going to reach back. Go ahead and bend that right leg. Reach for that foot. Grab it if you can, pressing the top of your foot into your fingertips, feeling that stretch. Hold here. One deep breath in. Exhale, letting go. Kick that leg off to the side using that kickstand. Reach up through the right arm. Length through the fingertips. Expand through the chest. Feeling a nice stretch through the shoulders. And exhale, thread through. Bring that right shoulder a little bit closer to the ground. Deep stretch through the inner thigh. Another deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead, come back up. And inhale, reach through those fingertips one last time. And we'll lower back down to tabletop. Bring that foot back in. Push back, find that child's pose. After you reach center, walk those hands all the way to the left. Feel that stretch, breathing through the right side body. Trying to walk those fingertips a little bit further to the left if you can. One more deep breath in. And let's walk to the right. Breathing through the left side body. Another deep breath in. Walking back to center. Lifting all the way back up. Find that tabletop. Pressing through your pointer, middle, and heels of your palms. Curl those toes underneath you. Send that weight back into your hips. Lifting up, finding that downward dog. Pedaling out those feet. Waking up the backs of your legs. Trying to get both heels onto the ground. Couple more deep breaths in. When you're ready, we're walking our feet all the way up to our hands, finding that forward fold. Go ahead and hold here for a couple deep breaths if that feels good to you. On your next inhale, let's slowly roll up vertebra by vertebra, reaching through the fingertips. Find that length as you reach for the ceiling. Another deep breath. We're going to dive forward over those knees. Exhale, forward fold. Coming into that forward fold, wide lift. Go ahead and hinge at the hips. Slowly roll up, flat back. Bring those arms out. Make that Y. Squeeze the scapula together. And fold over those knees. Speeding it up a little bit more now. Inhale, rolling up vertebra by vertebra. Reach through the fingertips. Find that length. Exhale, dive forward over those knees. Inhale, half lift. Hinge at the hips. Squeeze the glutes. Bring those arms out and up. Squeeze the scapula together. And fold over those knees. One last time, deep breath in, roll the spine vertebra by vertebra, lift up, length through the fingertips. Feel free to rise onto those toes. Slowly dive over those knees. Exhale. Inhale, half lift. Roll up vertebra by vertebra. Extending those arms out, forming that Y. Squeeze the scapula together. Bracing through the core. And fold back over those knees. Go ahead and hang here. Lengthen through the spine. Deep breaths. Slowly rolling all the way back up. We're going to step to the outside of our mat, keeping that wide stance here. Deep breath, slowly lower down. Hinge at the hips. Send that weight into your heels and your glutes. Arms reach overhead. And exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Warming up those legs. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Use that breath. Slow and in control. 2 more. Last one. Let's bring those hands down to prayer, holding in that squat. We're going to pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rise all the way up. Reach. Hands extend overhead. Send those hips back, full squat, lift, and squat. Couple more. Deep breaths. Last one. This time we'll lower down. Go ahead and bring those hands to prayer. As we pulse, we're going to add that heel lift now, alternating. Pulse, heel lift, pulse, heel lift. Using those breaths, a couple more. Keeping that weight in your heels. Last one, each side. Coming all the way back up to that standing position. Go ahead and interlace those hands behind your back. Folding, sending those hips back. Coming into that forward fold, feeling that stretch through the shoulders, backs of your thighs. And go ahead and unhook those hands or bring them down to the floor. Step back with each foot. Find that high plank. Feel free to bring those knees all the way down to the mat. Uncurl those toes, elbows tucked tight to your sides. So we slowly lower down and push back up. Feel free to find that up dog or lower onto your forearms. Use that Sphinx pose. Look over each shoulder. Again, finding those deep breaths. Feeling that stretch. One last one. Exhale, lowering all the way down onto the belly. We're going to extend those hands in front of us. Deep breath in, lift up. Bring those elbows to your sides, squeeze the back, and extend forward. Lifting up, squeeze the elbows back, and come back forward. Last one, really paying attention to the muscles here before we add on. Reaching forward. This time as we lower down, squeeze the glutes and lift the legs. Lowering down, switching all the way up, lifting the hands, squeezing the elbows, forward, lower, squeeze the glutes, lift the legs. Lift the arms, squeeze, coming back, lower, lift the legs. We're going to try to do both of them at the same time. Lift the legs, lift the upper body, squeeze the elbows, reach forward, and lower. 2 more. Last one, use that breath. Squeezing the glutes, squeezing the back. Reach forward. Let's hold here, and we're going to swim it out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, almost there, 2, 1, lowering all the way back down. Go ahead and bring that left foot up, trying to reach those heels to that glute. Send the left arm back. Grab onto that foot. Just feel a gentle stretch here. Catch up with their breathing. Letting go of that foot. Bring the right foot up. Send the right arm back, grabbing if you can. If not, just reach. Trying to squeeze the heel closer to the glute while pressing the top of the foot into your palm. And if you can, go ahead and lift that left leg up as well. Reach back, coming into that full boat pose, pressing both feet into those hands. Deep breaths here. And exhale, lowering all the way down. Go ahead and bring those forearms underneath your forehead, resting here, shaking out the hips. Deep breath before we get to the second part of today's class. Another deep breath in. And exhale, bringing those palms underneath those shoulders. We'll press ourselves back, finding that tabletop position once more. Again, starting with the left leg, shoulders stacked over heels of palms, hips stacked over knees. All we're gonna do is send that leg back, flex the foot, and lower. Squeezing through the glutes, activating the legs, core stays strong. Flex that foot. One more. We'll keep that foot sent back and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. We're going to lift to the side now. Fire hydrants. Go ahead and lift that leg as high up as you can. And lower. Trying to feel the transition from the outer glutes working now. Squeezing that core, finding your balance. 2. And last one. Keep that leg lifted. We'll pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend that foot out. We're actually going to pivot on that right knee now. Go ahead and lower down onto your hips. Lower onto that forearm. Deep breaths. We're going to stack our knees over top of each other. Lift those legs up. Point those toes closer to the ceiling if you can. All we're going to do here, lift the top knee and lower. Activating through the glutes here, just lift and lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Squeezing those glutes. Feeling that muscle activation before we add on here, slow and in control. And on your next exhale, we're going to lift that leg up. Now we're going to point that toe out. Coming back, toes meet together and close. Lifting the knee, extending the leg, toes meet and close. Good job, guys. Slow and in control. Use that breath. Almost done. We'll do one more and then we'll add on. We're going to lift that leg up, extend, but as your leg is extended, we're going to tap forward, come back up, and continue with the previous exercise. So all we're adding is that tap forward. Paying attention to how the hips and the glutes feel. Almost done. Couple more. Last one. Extend out, tap forward, bring those toes back together. Let's connect the heels here, and we're just gonna pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower those legs back down. We're gonna extend the bottom leg here. Go ahead and roll onto the ball of your foot, bringing it in front of you. Here's where the inner thigh activation comes in. Promise, it's tough, so if you need a break, go ahead and take it. We're gonna flex that bottom foot, lift the leg, and lower. Just lift and lower. Trying to feel the inner thighs working here. Take breaths, any modifications that you need. 2 more. Last one, keeping it lifted, we're gonna try to circle forward for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now circle the other direction for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Still leaving that foot lifted. We're going to try a double pulse. So pulse, pulse, and lower. Lift, lift, lower. Lift, lift a little higher, and lower. Really trying to reach that foot to the ceiling, activating that inner thigh. 2 more. Last one. And pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering that leg down. Go ahead and bring both legs together. You can lower all the way onto that arm, resting your head on that bicep or in your hand if you'd like. We're going to bring both of those feet up and off the ground. Lift that top leg and lower. Lift the top leg and meet the toes. Keep that breath. Feeling the inner thighs and the glutes working here. You're almost done, I promise. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and bring both those legs down. We're going to sit all the way up, bend those knees, coming into that well-deserved mermaid stretch. Stretching through the right side of your body here. Deep breath in. Extending through the fingertips. Find that length. Lifting that chest up to the ceiling. One more deep breath in. Exhale, we'll windmill all the way down. Bring that right hand behind you. Lift your left arm up. Feel free to lift your hips up as well. Feel that stretch into that modified camel pose. Another deep breath in. And exhale, we'll lower down. Let's come back to that tabletop position. After that nice stretch, we're going to repeat the same thing, but for the other side now, starting with the right leg. All we're going to do is kick back, flex that foot, squeeze the glutes. Kick back, flex foot, squeeze the glutes. Core is strong, keeping you balanced. The only thing that's moving is that leg. Use those breaths. We tend to speed up when things start to get hard. It's okay to slow down, take breaks. 2 more. And last one. Let's pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, coming right into those hydrants. Side lift. Feel the muscle activation in the side glute now. Might be a little bit harder to balance through that core. Mind to muscle connection. Couple more. Last one, we're going to lift that leg. Let's pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kick that leg out, rotate on that left knee. Bring those hips down to the ground. Settle on that forearm. Again, the same thing, but for this side, stack those knees on top. Go ahead and bring those feet up, pointing them to the ceiling. I'm just going to open those knees and close. Exhale, open. Inhale, close, squeezing through the core, not letting the core fall apart here as we engage the outer glutes and the inner thighs. Trying to get that muscle engagement before we add on. Last one, we'll open those knees. This time, kick out that top leg, extending. Bring those toes together and close. Open the knees, extend the top leg, and close. Slow and in control. Use that breath. Exhale, close. Try 2 more. Last one. Go ahead and extend that leg. We're going to add that arc tap forward. Lift up. Close those toes. Then close the knees. Open. Extend. Tap forward. And close. Using the outer glutes. Squeezing through the core. Keeping yourself lifted. Three more. Glutes are burning. Last one. Let's meet both of our toes back in the middle. Connect those heels, and we're just going to pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend that bottom leg out. Bring that top leg, rest on the ball of your foot, or bring the entire foot forward, coming into that inner thigh work, lifting the bottom leg up and lower. Feel free to keep that foot flexed if that helps you. You can rest on both arms, sending your fingertips in front of your hips if that helps you. Get that engagement. Try to feel the inner thigh working here. 2 more. Last one, keeping that foot lifted, we're going to circle forward for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching directions, circling the other way for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's leave that foot lifted. We're going to pulse up and try to do a quick pulse again, doing those double pulses. Pulse, pulse, lower. Lift, lift, lower. Squeezing the inner thigh. Finding that breath. Couple more. Two more. And last one. We'll pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and lower both legs, meeting them on top of each other. Feel free to settle on top of that bicep or rest your head in your hands. We're going to try to lift both those toes up off the mat. Bring that right leg into the air and lower. Lift and lower. Just make sure your toes are trying to meet in the middle. Exercising outer right glute and inner left thigh. Couple more deep breaths. Almost done. Two more. Squeeze through the core. Last one. Go ahead and let both legs lower onto the ground. Lift yourself all the way up, coming into that half mermaid stretch. Reach through the left side of your body. Length through those fingertips. Stretch through the hips. Deep breaths. And on your next exhale, we're in a windmill forward. Lift that right arm overhead. Feel free to lift those hips off the mat as well. Coming into that modified camel pose. Still taking those deep breaths. Length through the right side body. Stretch through the hips and the inner thighs. One more deep breath in. And lowering all the way back down to the mat. We're going to swing our legs in front of us, coming onto that seated glute position. All we're going to do here is lift our hands up and overhead. Keep the core braced and lower down, lowering the arms as well. Lifting up, squeeze the core and lower, rounding the back, squeezing through the lower abdominals. Lift and lower. If it helps, you can use a block here. Put pressure on either side of the block. A couple more. Squeeze the core. Use that breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one, lift. Exhale, lower. We're going to hold here. Go ahead and reach back through that left arm. Come back to center. Reach back with the right. Come back to center. Squeezing that core. Constant tension through that core. Slow and in control. Last one on either side. Coming back to center, feel free to take a couple pulses here, or you can lift those legs up, finding those hundreds. Deep breaths. 15 more seconds. You got it. Five more seconds. Squeeze the core. Use your abdominals. And lower all the way down onto that back. Feel free to give those knees a hug or a gentle rock side to side. Deep breath. Bring those heels just below your glutes. Tilting that pelvic floor up and in. Make sure your lower back is fully touching the mat. We're going to squeeze our glutes, lift all the way up. And then when you're ready, we're going to come all the way on to those toes. Go ahead and spread the knees and close. Squeezing through the glutes, lifting through the core, opening the knees and close. Deep breaths. This is a deep core exercise. If you need a break, feel free to take them. Lifting through the calves, using those inner thighs. Couple more deep breaths. Last one. Open, close. Slowly lower all the way back down to your back. Feel free to rock side to side if that feels good to you. We're going to come up onto our forearms. Feel free to rest here, or you can extend your arms all the way out if you're looking for a challenge. We're going to bring our legs up as well. Extend overhead and lift back up. Lower and lift. If you're on your forearms here, the only thing you're doing is dropping those legs and lifting them back up. But if you're looking for that challenge, lower and lift. Looking for a little bit of a shake through that core. 2 more. Last one. This time, everybody's going to come up and off of their forearms. We're lowering down onto our backs. Send one leg out. Pull, pull, and change. Pull, pull, and change. Grabbing onto one knee, alternating, squeeze the core, keeping those shoulder blades up and off the mat, slow and in control. Deep breaths. Couple more. Last one, we're going to pull both of our knees into our chest. Go ahead and take both of your fingertips, rest them behind your neck, give your neck a little bit more support. Extend both legs, drop one, and lift. Alternating here. If you want to increase the intensity, you can drop both. Or you can do an alternating drop, drop, then drop both. Up to you. Last little core burner. Use those breaths. We're almost done. Two more. Last one. Go ahead and drop both of those legs onto the ground. We're going to pull both knees in. Go ahead and try to grab onto both the inner feet, lifting those legs all the way up. Find that happy baby pose. I know it looks a little bit odd, but I promise it'll feel good for the inner thighs. Gentle rest for the core. Feel free to rock side to side if that feels comfortable to you. You can extend the legs all the way out if you want more of a back of the leg stretch. Up to you. One last deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead and rebend those knees. Drop them behind the glutes. We're going to pick up the right leg, lifting it all the way up and kicking it over the left knee. Feel free to stay here, or you can grab on to the back of your left leg or onto your left shin. Feel free to rock side to side if that feels good to you. Deep breaths. When you're ready, we're going to send our hands to either side of our body, gently letting those hips fall to the left. Getting a twist through the spine, stretch through those hips. Taking another deep breath in here. Exhale, go ahead and come back to center. Unhook that right leg from your left and lift the left, hooking it over the right. Feel free to stay here or grab onto that leg. Option to rock side to side if that feels good to you. When you're ready, sending those hands either side of your body. Gently let those hips fall to the right. Twisting through the spine, stretching through the hip. Taking another deep breath in. Exhale, lift, coming back to center. Unhook that left leg from your right. Bring the soles of your feet together, gently letting those knees fall to either side of your body. One hand over your heart, the other over your stomach. We're going to meet here for our last few breaths of class today. Taking this time to bring awareness to all four corners of our body. Try wiggling your feet, wiggling your fingers. Feel the back of your head pressed into the mat. The rise and fall of your chest as you slowly allow yourself to sink further and further into the floor. Go ahead and try box breathing here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat. Finding the rhythm of your breath. Taking that full brain scan. Where your muscles soar, where they relaxed. Letting go of any stress or tension built up throughout the day. Setting your intentions and bringing awareness to the rest of your day. That's going to bring us to the end of today's class. Feel free to stay and stretch. Thank you all so much for coming, and I hope to see you all again on Thursday. Other than that, have a good night.